Welcome to Dreambox Learning.
We're going to head to the lab. We're going to work on Dreambox. Couple of reminders. Where do I want to see? What do I want to see on every screen once we get there?
There always has to be math on the screen.
Excellent. Line up. Let's go. Sheldon, get the headphones. The interesting thing about Dreambox is first, that's what I looked at. First I thought about the fact that it was going to fit nicely into math, the number sense, and the operations. But it's had massive spillover. It's had massive spillover into oral language with the kids, transfer into all sorts of areas in the classroom. So it started out for me filling a niche, and then the impact of it became huge. The top part is
equivalent to 35.
Yeah, to the bottom. Is that not cool? I like that. Keep on going. When they're in Dreambox, they've got their headphones on, they're getting the auditory, and I'm not. I can see what's going on the screen. But then when you sit and talk to them, which is the best part of the whole thing, they have to explain to you, and they know, they haven't shared that experience with you. So they know you haven't had this experience. So the impact on oral language, something I would have never predicted, has been massive. The impact on precision of language, which is so important in mathematics, has just been huge.
What I like about Dreambox is that you learn math.
It's evolved the mathematics program considerably because number sense is huge, and it's huge for all teachers. I mean, there's 5 strands, but it's still the biggie, and it's the one that, common theme that runs through all of them. But a lot of time, the content I worry about now, it's delivered in the lab with the kids with Dreambox. I mean, it's delivered perfectly right for that little person in front of them. The models that they use, the virtual and digital models that they're using, I couldn't, I'm a good math teacher, I'm a good grade 1 teacher, but I couldn't cover everything that's being covered in there. I mean, some of these kids have logged on 30 or 40 hours of Dreambox, and I haven't. So I need to talk to them to get information about what's going on, not only about their learning, but how things work. So you share the expertise. So that takes a lot of pressure off teachers, and I think for a lot of people that would be the secret. If you take a look across all of the computer screens, you're going to see 4 very different screens. The instruction is completely differentiated depending on where that child is. Not only is the level that they're working on, but also the choice of manipulative. That's completely differentiated because kids have preferential models that they use. So if you see, nobody's on the same thing. First time I came into the lab with the kids, on the very first hour we were in Dreambox, within 5 minutes I had 18 different screens. So this is typically what you see. It's marvelous because with each one of these little students I have a completely different discussion about mathematics. I can have discussions about place value. I can have discussions about patterns in algebra. I can have discussions about equivalence and friendly numbers. All of that with 4 different people. I can't do that in my classroom. I mean, this just opens things up massively for me.
It's math, so you go into the adventure park, you pick where you want to go, and then you pick a game and you have fun.
I think we have no option but to accept that technology, that is the world out there for these kids, and that is the world for us, whether we're honest or not.
This is my avatar. So if I click on it, it'll take me to a whole bunch of pictures. But see, that's your king. Now if you want me to show you what it's like in there, it's really fun. There's Sticker Studio, which I always do, and your king. I'm only allowed level 2 right now, but I can also do this, level 1, which is the hardest one. See, this is just telling me what I have to do. And I'm gonna jump and land right there. He's got 1 point, I got 0. I'm still gonna beat him. I always beat the orange guy.
Yeah, what does it not mean? You got it. Moving into delivering content, The biggest piece that's always been missing was how are they assessing kids? So that's the thing that's so incredible about this, is you have in a classroom, you have the complete, I mean, if you bring up my dashboard, you'll see you have the complete range of kids, and every one of those kids is being met. This is an amazing, amazing feature of Dreambox. Probably one of the biggest selling items in terms of convincing me of its value. The data that's on here is incredible. You use the teacher dashboard initially to set up all your classes, a different component. You can also use it to link in parents' home email and things like that. But in terms of tracking academic progress, this is absolutely phenomenal. You have more data than you can possibly deal with. As well, you're going to get notifications, if the red flag for if they need assistance, and the yellow speech bubble for if they're working inefficiently, and my kids are sufficiently afraid of seeing that working inefficiently speech bubble on there. But then there's another level. You can go to weekly reports or you can go to detailed reports. One specific student, you're looking at a specific detailed progress report. You're looking at curriculum categories, counting, comparison, place value. These are specific categories. This is where they are in terms of kindergarten grade 1, grade 2, or grade 3. It's interesting because on some of the kids' profiles you're going to see they are still working in kindergarten, they're also working in 1 and 2, which is what we know. It's not a straight linear thing. That's the beauty of Dreambox. You're going to get a synopsis statement. What is that student working on right now? Exactly, and that's what they're working on in real time. This isn't historic. This updates as I'm sitting in the lab. Then it gives you subsets. What have they done? She's completed this part, 100% is completed, but you can go down further. Exactly what mathematics has been learned. The teacher PD in this is absolutely incredible because, you know, in our curriculum it might say something like this, and identify missing addends. Well, what does that exactly mean? And then there's an explanation for what that exactly means. So the teacher PD on this is absolutely phenomenal. There's no way in a classroom I can replicate this. Like, I can do the very best, and I mean, that's why I love Dreambox, because to me this, along with all this open-ended problem stuff, is just so powerful. And just collecting that data and how do you organize it. So Dreambox literally is a dream from that point of view, because everything, every piece of data that you could want is in that, and I get to go around and talk mathematics with all of these kids at their own level. So one little person I'm talking who's, you know, right now we're working on partial products, and another little person is working on, you know, early grade 1 number identification, and it's just like you get to have these amazing conversations. You have a really huge sense of what your kids know and understand. Eyeballs this way. It's the last 10 minutes. You have a choice. You can either finish up the lesson that you're in, or you can move into the carnival. The limit on the arcade is 1 game. So you make a choice, no requirement, but if you want to go to the carnival, now you can go to the carnival. Working with Dreambox has been a joy. I've been blessed because I've been left to teach grade 1 for 12 years, and it's been 12 totally different years. My own personal goal this year was to look at technology. That was a challenge that I had set for myself. A year ago at one of the math conferences, I heard a speaker talk about the fact that we need to get rid of the solid walls and we need to have glass walls. The world has changed a lot for these kids. They need to, I mean, not they need to, they are. They're interacting globally. So we needed to change that. So for me, this was like a gift.